Hola, ¿qué tal mi gente? Aquí está Paula Maruri para el show internacional y estamos con la conferencia de prensa del All-Star Game. Aquí los dejamos con las mejores entrevistas y todo lo mejor. Ya saben, el show internacional, todos los lunes de 4 a 5 de la tarde por la 1010 AM 990 de California y mi página de internet www.elshowinternacionaldepaulamaruri.com. Gracias.
So we're going to get kicked off here with the MLS All-Star team. Here for the 2016 AT&T MLS All-Star Game this Thursday, as everybody knows, against Arsenal FC. So the first gentleman I am going to introduce, he is the manager, the head coach of the All-Star team. He's been affiliated with Major League Soccer since its inception when he was a player, and in 2001 he became an assistant coach with the Earthquakes and has more than I think 150 victories now, if I'm not mistaken, as a head coach in Major League Soccer. He was also part of the staff during the 2010 MLS All-Star Game in Houston, which is the MLS versus the World format, so we can get kind of his thoughts on that. And most importantly for this gentleman, today is his birthday. Let's welcome Mr. Dominic Kinnear. All right, also joining us from Orlando City SC, the captain of the All-Star team. You guys certainly know him as a World Cup winner and also a UEFA Champions League participant and the former World Player of the Year, captain of Orlando City, and a gentleman who has experience playing against Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League during his time at Milan. That would be Kaká. And then we are also fortunate to have us joining us here today with the Red Bulls. He is the assist leader in Major League Soccer, 12 assists, having a phenomenal year. He is also a gentleman who has experience playing against Arsenal when he was with Anderlecht in the UEFA Champions League. Joining us from the Red Bulls is Mr. Sacha Kljestan. Sacha. All right, we're going to get it kicked off. Actually, I'm going to throw it to Dom, as I mentioned. 2001 MLS All-Star Game. That's the last time we were here in San Jose. Little different format back then. It was East versus West. It was a 6-6 draw. Bit of a circus, some might say. In 2010, when he was involved with the All-Star Game, when he was the head coach down in Houston, it was the MLS World versus the World format. Dom, just your thoughts now coming into this week. What does it mean coaching this group of players, and how do you look at the All-Star Game now with its current format and just how big it's gotten throughout the years?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. I want to thank, obviously, for everyone being here. I'll try and be as brief as possible. It's an honor to be sitting here next to these two fine players in our league. When I saw that the All-Star Game was going to be announced to be in San Jose, the first thing my thought was I'll be able to coach this fine group of players. It's an honor. I've had it in a little bit different ways in different places. Obviously, with Frank Yallop, I've been involved in a couple games, and I think the last one was helping out Bruce against Manchester United down in Houston. For us, it's an honor to play against Arsenal, a very storied franchise with a wonderful manager and wonderful players over the years. Last night, sitting dinner with the group of players that we had, just sitting in the room, you kind of pinch yourself, realizing you have such a great group of men and a great group of players within your grasp, and you get to spend the time in the locker room with them and on the field. We're looking forward to a good game, Dan. I want to give a good competitive effort. And I never thought at 7 years old, when I was making the trek to Spartan Stadium way back in the day, that I'd be sitting here 42 years later, sitting next to Kaká and Sacha Kljestan, leading them onto the field for the MLS All-Star. So a complete honor for me, and just really looking forward to the match.
All right, thank you, Dom. We're going to go to questions from our journalists. We do have Paul Michael over here with the microphone and Frank with the microphone. We'll go down to Mr. Jeff Carlisle with ESPN.com. And if we could, as I mentioned, this is being streamed live. If you could state your name and affiliation when you ask your questions. But since I did it for you, Jeff, I think you're all set.
Okay, thanks. My question is for Dominic and Sacha. This is an exhibition game, but obviously you also want to make a good impression. You know, how do you balance those competing views, if you will?
Yeah, like you said, it's a friendly game, but we obviously want to show how far our league has grown. I think we've come a long way even since I started playing in the league, and we want to show against a very good team like Arsenal the level of play and the quality of players we have in this league is at a very high level, while at the same time, trying not to get injured and getting ready for the second half of the season. So I think we'll put in a competitive effort. I think all of us as players have that fire inside us to win all the time. So I think we'll give our best effort.
Yeah, these guys are top players. I think anytime they step onto the field, they want to perform well, whether it be practice or games. I can only go back to the game against Manchester United when the team was pretty humbled, and walking off the field, it was a sickening feeling, even though it was an exhibition. So I think the years afterwards with the games against Tottenham and Bayern Munich, I think the teams have played particularly very well and very competitive. And, my instructions were, as the coach of this team, is to be as balanced as possible in picking players from around the league, but making sure that when the team steps on the field, we're trying to win the game. So that's my intention, and I'll pass it on to the players.
All right, perfect. We'll go down here to the front row.
Yeah, this is Paula from 10 a.m. I'm very happy to be here. And the question is for Dominic. How do you feel coaching players from different cultural backgrounds for the All-Star game on Thursday? Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great experience, and I think with the evolution of MLS, we've had quite a few foreign players drift through every locker room. I think the names and the reputations are getting bigger over the years, and obviously when you're with the All-Stars, it becomes a huge glut of top players in our league. So, to get to know and get to say hello to some of these guys and kind of see how they carry themselves and how they train will be interesting. It'll be it'll be fun as well. But I think it's not really too much different. I think if you were to ask Kaká here about his teams that he's played with over the years, it wasn't just the country where he was playing, but many other personalities and nationalities from other teams. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure there'll be some different languages spoken in the locker room, but I think that's almost standard for world football now. And it's just going to be a fun time to be able to sit there and like I said, be in the same room with them and be involved in the game with them.
This is Paula from 10 a.m. My question is for everybody. Welcome to the United States. What you have done different from home, talking about mental and physical training for the All-Star game? Thank you.
Well, I think we prepare in the same way as I said before. It's important that first we get ready for the Premier League, but these games are important as well to build up. We can train as much as we want, but it's a different type of fitness when you play in a game. So I think we prepare the same physically and mentally as well.
Last one over there.
Well, I just would add that you have plenty of players who have the qualities to play at the top level, but physically and technically. But what makes a top level player is a mental aspect. How much do you want it? How much do you want to be a champion? And so that is part of a package of a top level player. They have special mental qualities, or they cannot make it at the top.